We are back with a brand new video. What is good, you guys? In today's video, we're going to be diving into the Ringers 2023 NBA Draft, guys. As you guys can see on the screen, shout out to Kevin O'Connor, man. He does a really good job with the Ringer and producing these draft guides every single year. I really like these draft guides because they give you guys not only like descriptions of the players, but also like, you know what I'm saying, like shades of comparisons and other kind of really helpful stuff that can really help for, you know, the average college fan who's not like as big into college basketball. Like for any of you guys out there who are just trying to get into this to the realm of college basketball and to get into the realm of, you know, the draft prospects, this is a very good guide because it'll give you guys comparisons, you know, strengths, weaknesses, a lot of these different type of things, which we'll get into as we get onto the article. But this is basically a big board that the Ringer has created. So without further ado, man, let's get right into it. Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new, turn on post notifications. Let's get right into it. So, number one overall pick, Victor Wembanyama. I mean, no surprise there. Shades of the Gen Z Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, if this does not scream pressure, I don't know what screams pressure. The NBA's greatest prospect in decades, with the ceiling to be an all-time great and unlike anyone the game has seen. Potential GOAT. Potential GOAT is wild, bro. Like, this guy is coming in with so much pressure, and like, you know, everyone is expecting him to be like crazy because like he's probably the greatest prospect of all time, arguably, you know, apart from LeBron James. I don't know if anyone has been like a greater prospect than this guy. And you know, the fact that he's all being compared to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's like the leading scorer in the NBA history and potential GOAT, all this and that, as long as he stays healthy, man, I think he's gonna have a really good career. Scoot Henderson at 2. Let me close this thing real quick. Scoot Henderson at 2 makes sense. Shades of efficient Russell Westbrook. You know, a lot of people say that Scoot would be the number one overall pick in like 90% of drafts, but like since Victor's here, like, you know, Victor is the first overall pick and Scoot is second, but Scoot and Victor are like on a different tier than the rest, in my opinion. The thing about Scoot that a lot of people like, you know, are forgetting about is that his jumper is a lot more advanced than a lot of these athletic guards. You know, the John Morants, the Russell Westbrooks, the John Walls. Like, Scoot's jumper and his pull-up jump shot is a lot more advanced than those other players were, you know, coming into the same level. So he's going to already have an advantage because not only is he extremely explosive going to the rim, but he's also extremely efficient with that pull-up mid-range shot. And he has really good feel for the game, as you guys can see right here. So this is a good prospect. Brandon Miller at 3. Okay, I am a fan of Kevin O'Connor now because Brandon Miller is one of my guys. Now, a lot of people compare him to like Jabari Smith from last year because he's kind of more of like a catch-and-shoot player. But like, I've also seen flashes of his handle improve this season. And like, again, I like the Paul George comparison. But if he doesn't fully develop the handle, I can understand like the Trey Murphy, the catch and shoot, like the 3-and-D wing. It's very iffy because, you know, you see a lot of these guys, like, I don't know, even like DeAndre Hunter, you know, who came into the league as like a catch and shoot player, like a 3-and-D player. Now Brandon Miller's defense is not as good as DeAndre Hunter's was, but he's a very good shooter, man. Extremely good shooter, can pull up from anywhere on the court. But I think his handle is extremely underrated, which is why I'm seeing the Paul George comparison thrown out a lot, and I like it. So shout out to Brandon Miller. Amen Thompson at 4. Shades of tall John Morant. Beanpole Zion Williamson. That's wild. Not in a bad way. I mean, that's just like crazy that someone would be compared to Ja and Zion at the same time. We'll see where his brother is soon, but I like Amen a lot. Again, shooting could improve, but apart from that, he literally has everything else. And shooting is one of the more fixable skills in the NBA, so I think he'll be great as long as he stays on the court. Number 5, Jarace Walker. Oh my goodness, I'm a fan of this mock draft guide, bro. This big board guide. Jarace Walker is another one of my guys because he's a winning player. He does a lot of little things on the court. You know, goes out there, competes, and plays to win. Like, that's all like anyone could ask for. Like, reminds me a lot of Scotty Barnes. I see the Julius Randle, I guess, but like Julius Randle's defense is kind of questionable. But I can understand like Julius Randle with the full tank on defense. Very versatile, as it says right here. Can jump out the gym, and he just reminds me of Scotty Barnes coming in a lot. Like, I just see the same kind of tools that, you know, maybe he's not as athletic as Scotty, but like defensively, like intangibles, he has them all. So I like Jarace Walker at 5. Keontae George at 6. Okay, now Keontae George, Again, very polarizing prospect. A lot of people don't know if he's going to be like a Jordan Clarkson, if he's going to be like a Bradley Beal. I see the Beal potential. Ball handling is really good. Obviously, can create his own shot from like the 3-point line in the mid-range area. But his finishing is really, really improving. So he's a 3-level scorer, probably the best scorer in this draft. So I like him at 6. Cam Whitmore at 7. To be honest, I think Cam Whitmore is a top 5 prospect. I'm going to keep saying it. He is very, very good to me. And I think that Cam Whitmore is like a guy who, he's he doesn't really have any shades. He has shades of a semi-truck with a Ferrari's accelerator. I mean, that's not really a comparison, Kevin O'Connor. But, I mean, we'll take it. Yeah, man, he kind of gives me like a lot of like Jeremy Grant vibes, Swiss Army knife, who does a lot of different things. Yeah, got that dog in him, as you guys can see right here. Asur at number 8. Sean Livingston with elite athleticism. I like that comparison. Asur's jump shot is a lot more advanced than Amen's, but obviously Amen is like a bit bigger and does a lot of other things well. So I like Asur at 8. Gigi at 9. Youngest player in the class. His potential is through the roof, man. Gigi is my favorite player in the draft, probably, apart from like Scoot Henderson. If I had to pick like my top 5 favorite players in the draft, it would be Scoot, Gigi, Cam Whitmore, Brandon Miller, and probably Jarris Walker, to be honest. But yeah, Gigi Jackson is one of my guys for sure. Taylor Hendricks at 10. Okay. Now, being someone from Florida, I've watched this guy since high school. Taylor Hendricks has been a pretty popular name in the state since high school. And UCF, Central Florida, a lot of people raving about him. I was wondering, let's see if this kid can actually do this on the college level. And he has, man. Very, very, athletic. Very versatile. Not really the best ball handler, as you can see right here, but like good Jabari Parker is wild, bro. Shout out to Jabari Parker, but yeah, I think Taylor Hendricks is going to be a little bit better than that for sure. What was Gigi's comparison? Nimble Marcus Morris. I like that. I can also see a little bit of a better defender there too, but Taylor Hendricks at 10 is a surprise for sure. Jet Howard. Okay, Jet Howard is also one of my guys for sure. I might have to take out one of these people and put Jet Howard in my top 5. I completely forgot about him. Jet Howard, that's crazy that they're putting together the Dillon Brooks and the Desmond Banes here as a comparison, because Dillon Brooks and Desmond Bane are like, they're similar but like different at the same time. Jet Howard, I don't like the comparison because Jet Howard cannot really defend anything, so that's the only like problem here with this comparison. But like apart from that, like he's one of the best scorers in this draft, and he's also a very, very smooth NBA player. Just has a really nice feel for the game. Maxwell Lewis out of Pepperdine, 3-and-D, one of the best 3-and-D prospects. Devin Vassell, I mean, standard comparisons for 3-and-D players. Anthony Black, the Lonzo comparison, I was expecting it. I was also thinking Josh Giddey, I guess. Yeah, very good, bigger point guard, floor general, but can also defend really well. Bryce Sensabaugh from Ohio State at 14. I like it. I mean, he's been a riser. I'm not going to lie. TJ Warren is a good comparison. He's just a bucket at the end of the day. He's not the best defender, but he's a very good scorer. And, at 6'6", like I said, wingspan TBD is kind of crazy, but 6'6", 235. He has some nice size. Grady Dick at 15. I'm waiting for a couple of names here. Grady Dick is a very good shooter, man. He's just an elite shooter, and he'll just do a lot of different things like cut to the rim and all the other stuff too. So, very good shooter. Yeah, Nick Smith at 16. I'm very surprised he fell this far. Extremely surprised. I mean, he hasn't played much this season, so that's the only like downside is like the injuries. But Nick Smith at 16 is very, very confusing to me. Same with Cason Wallace at 17. I feel like Cason Wallace is a borderline top 10 guy, if not top 10. Like, I think to have him at 17 is extremely low, and especially for a guy who does a lot of the little things for his team to win. I mean, Cason Wallace is going to be one of the best players in this draft class, because he just, he's there. You can see, like, if you know basketball, which a lot of people know, and a lot of you guys probably know, Cason Wallace, the chance of him failing in the NBA is extremely small, because even if he's not scoring the ball, he can impact the game in a lot of different ways that don't really show up on the stat sheet. So he will be an impactful NBA player. So, like, if you're a team and, if you had to choose between Cason Wallace and, I don't know, let me scroll up, Bryce Sensabaugh, you'd probably say Cason Wallace, because if Bryce Sensabaugh is not scoring, I don't really know what he's doing. And this is no disrespect to Bryce, but like Cason Wallace is a lot safer of an option. He probably doesn't have like elite upside or anything, but you know he's not going to fail in the NBA. So at 17, I think this is very low. Rayan Rupert is a project, and we'll see. You know, he's a very good defender, but you know, offense is very limited. So yeah, we'll see how that develops. Noah Clowney at 19. Khalil Ware is at 20. Dariq Whitehead at 21. Okay. Listen, I was defending Dariq a lot, but like Dariq Whitehead is, you know, suffered a lot of injuries, so that's the only problem right now, is that his injury history has not been great so far. And you know, it's like that the recent injury he had was very, very brutal, man. I'm very, very disappointed that he got injured, because I really wanted to see him play and out there, because I think this kid has top 10 potential, man. You know, he was like a top 5 like prospect before the season started, and he's falling all the way to the 20s, which is not pretty. Chris Murray at 22, Filipowski at 23, Terquavion Smith. I think this is a little low for Terquavion. Deron Holmes, Baba Miller. Okay, fresh from his suspension. Shades of Lamar Odom, Kyle Kuzma, Jordan Hawkins, Jaime Jaquez, Julian Phillips, and Derek Lively at 30. That is the big board / draft guide from The Ringer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. I'll see you guys later. As always, man, have a nice day. Peace.